Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news and introduce you to the pioneers and the founders of the space. Today, I'm very kindly joined by CSE's own BlockPro, a master at trading and an OG in the space. I'm glad to have you on. This has been a long time coming. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, mate. Thank you for the invitation. Glad to be here, and also glad to be part of the CSE team, of course.
Nice. I can see you're repping the merch today.
Oh yes. Oh, where is it? On the side here. I thought let's put it on.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't bring any out with me over to Asia because black, wearing black's super hot. So we need to get some white CSE versions, I think, and then I'll be repping over here. But let's have a quick look at the comments before we get going into this. We've got Florence here. Go. We've got Gaza. Good to see you, Gaza. Alex as well. Listy. Good to see you, Listy. Christian saying the man, the myth, the legend. That is BlockPro. We've got Hugo in the chat as well. And we've got Bruce from Down Under. Good day, Bruce. Hope you're doing well. Finally, a face reveal of a living legend.
Oh, yeah. It's taken some time, but... Hey?
Yeah, I think hopefully this is just the start as well, guys. We will be making more trading videos. BlockPro has been making trading videos for CSE as well, which will be going up onto YouTube at some point as well. So this is just the start. I'm glad to get kicking off into this. But first off, let's ask you a little bit more about your journey into Web3 and how you got into trading.
How I got into trading. Well, that's actually a fun one because I watched some car YouTubers back in the day.
Yeah.
And one of those car YouTubers was actually that Martini guy.
And
he said one day, I'm going to make a YouTube channel about crypto. And I was like, never mind. That's not something for me. But then I bought some Bitcoin, forgot about it for a couple of years. And then after a while, a mate of mine told me, we worked together in the harbor for separate companies, and he said to me, do you know about Bitcoin? And that pretty much triggered my interest. And he is a pretty well-known trader from the Netherlands. And basically, we teamed up together to get a good form of study into the right place. I've been trading now for about 7 years. 5 of them are now profitable. So it's been a long journey. Yeah. And I'm not an investor, by the way. I only trade crypto. I don't invest in it because the world between investing and trading is very different. So yeah,
definitely.
Very short story of how I got into crypto, basically.
I think where your success comes from trading so much is that you don't have bias with coins. I've got to admit myself, I have bias when I'm trading because I'm optimistic. I want that to do away. I want that project or token to do well, and it does affect my bias. So it's really interesting, learning from you and seeing how you trade without bias. And you're, a lot more successful at trading than myself. I take more of the investor role. But it's good to see, and I think if people can tap into that and learn the strategies, which we'll go through a little bit today, but we can only just touch the surface, really.
Correct.
There's much more to your strategy and all of that as well. But let us know. You've been a CSE Plus member since we begun now, and like you said, you've been following that Martini guy. But recently you've come on with Crypto Saving Expert, and you've been doing one-to-one tuition. But what are some of the things that people can learn from the lessons and what you provide within CSE?
Oh yeah, sure. So for a crypto saving expert, the basic is to actually make educational videos. So short-term videos where people can actually watch for 4 till maybe 10 minutes and one topic at a time. Next to that, we also have some chart insights. So the things that I look at, I post those charts into our community. We have, of course, also the live webinars. Those are also for the Discord members only. And that is basically, you can ask me anything about trading. And next to that, we have one-to-one coaching program. And we can basically start from zero. So if you have no idea about crypto or about how to trade, we can just simply start with what is TradingView, or what is crypto in general, or what is trading in general, and slowly go from there. So with the most, especially with some of the guys that are now somewhat further in the program, we just set up a lesson program. I monitor them, and every week we have a bit of a catch up to see where to improve and how to improve. So it doesn't matter if you want to trade with $10 or with 10 million. I don't care.
Yeah,
everyone is the same. So,
and I've been doing one-to-ones over the last year as well, and some of the progress I've seen is amazing. What's some of the progress you've seen from your students, and how do you think you've changed their trading strategy for the better? Have you seen some good progress from the students so far?
Yeah, definitely. I think that basically mistake number one is risk management, is that people don't understand how risk management works. And also with that, there comes leverage into play. I say it quite often, leverage is bullshit, and people don't understand that. Because you still can use correct risk management while actually using stupid amounts of leverage. And you can flex those posts everywhere. But a lot of people don't understand how that works. But I think that for most, there are a couple of people that are actually making insane progress that went or already were on the point of getting profitable, but now they can also show a basis on their trading diary from I am profitable. Some people are taking it now a bit break even, so they're basically on that reverse point of where they getting to a point where they can say, oh, I've made money for 20 positions, for example, and after every 20 positions we go over it. So I can see that shift. Well, with especially if we compare it with the investing side, well, my students don't make millions yet, but it will come. So I'm very proud of all those guys and how they progress, and they all take it very serious. And I think that like trading should be fun. I also say it quite often. Trading is pretty boring if you do it correctly. And I think that is also a good moment where you can measure progress. If someone says like, the market is a bit boring today, but they are still in a profitable position. So,
awesome. Thanks for that. We'll have a little look at the market, see what's happened in the last 24 hours. We've still got Bitcoin hasn't been able to break above the 58,500, but we'll get into Bitcoin just in a moment, and we'll switch screens and go over to your analysis there. Ethereum as well, not much movement with Ethereum. It's pretty much the same across the board. We saw XRP. There's been some news about XRP. I think it was Elon Musk was promoting XRP, so we've seen a slight increase on that. Not something that I hold personally. BlockPro, do you trade XRP?
Yes, I shorted since launch. It's it's terrible. It's terrible. No, I shorted.
And do you think XRP will kind of dissolve out of the top 10 soon? Will you keep shorting XRP?
I think as long as it is on the top list, then yeah, sure, I keep shorting it. It works like a pump and dump coin. Like yesterday we saw market was down a little bit and you see XRP just flying with 5%, and it's manipulated till the max, so make use of it.
Let's go over to some of the top losers. So Aave, Portal Coin, Helium, ICP, Phantom. Phantom's had a good 7 days here, but Phantom's not had the best 6 months there. Let's have a quick look at the gainers as well. We've got Trust Wallet Token, owned by Binance, I believe. So I'm not sure what's caused that spike. If anyone knows in the chat, let us know. Polygon. Polygon had a rough. It's had a rough 30 days actually, so it's surprising to see it up for the 7 days. Is Polygon something you look to trade, or something that you keep to the side?
Well, basically, if I look at tickers to trade, I just scan the markets all day. I have an enormous watch list. Especially if something is down on a general update, then it piques my interest. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my favorite tickers from time to time where I think like, this moves nice for a while.
Yeah.
Like I have it now with layer 0, for example.
Yes, I've
Like
seen you've been trading that for a while now,
yeah.
with great success.
So since release, that one is just, I love that one to trade. It's very easy to trade. But that will disappear after a while, and then you need to find something else again. So
yes, yeah, we'll have a look at layer 0, but I'll switch screens now to your Bitcoin chart, and we'll talk about some of the levels that you're looking at, and even go into what indicators you like using,
sure.
and how you perform your trades there. So if you can talk us through some of the analysis there on your chart, that would be great.
Yeah, well, sure. So basically, I have the Bitcoin chart in front of me. It's charted out with a drop-down technical analysis. So we're starting from the monthly. After that, we're going to basically a weekly. And as soon as we're done with the weekly lines, then we're pretty much done with the technical analysis already, because it's actually quite simple the way I use it. Well, when it comes to lower time frame trading, so especially like the 30 minutes, you can also see a couple of old time frames that I have on my list. But let's say a 30 minutes. Well, I draw in scenarios that work with gaining and losing a level. And this chart is pretty old by now. So actually, I look for liquidity zones, also for pullbacks on wicks, open retest zones, local liquidity zones, but also constructions in price combined with momentum. And that is where I basically go and say, okay, if we lose a level, then we might gain another one or stay in a different zone. That's basically how I chart out all my arrows. So all the arrows are different scenarios, and usually it plays out.
Yes, yeah.
So that's a good thing. But also, what you can see is I've now for this example, I've set the price on my chart. So how I normally trade is without price.
Yes, yeah.
I don't care about price. If Bitcoin goes to 16K, I don't care. But also, if we now want to measure some moves, for example, you can see like a gaining level could be of something of 2%. And pretty much as a day trader, you can aim for 1% movement a day.
Yes.
You don't really need more than that.
No, you mentioned that 1% there, and does that mean that when you set the trade, you set your take profit to 1%, or will you set it to those levels until it reaches that next level as such?
Well, normally speaking, like especially with the level system, you can plan multiple take profit points in it, because every time you take profits, so let's say, no financial advice, I take a position right here. Well, I always work with the 1 in 3 risk to versus reward strategy. That means you're going to risk 1% of your capital to gain 3% of your capital. And then it doesn't really matter what the actual distance is of your stop loss. The closer the distance is from your stop loss towards your entry, the more contracts you are allowed to use.
Yes.
And you can see here now, for example, this orange line right here. This is what I could consider this range as a take profit number 1. That means I take 40% out of the position. That immediately, the next step in that is just basically that my stop loss risk, so the amount that I'm willing to risk, is already a bit lower. Well, we got that nice liquidity zone on top of that. That is where I could consider a take profit point number 2, take 20%, 40% again. And after that, I leave the position running all the way till the trend reverses. And that is what we call a runner. And runners can make you mad money.
Yes. And do you find the runners more successful with altcoins, or do you often leave runners with Bitcoin as well?
Well, the perfect way to set up a runner is actually to get into a sketchy altcoin, something low market cap that moves fast. Try to look for a scalping position. So then you're targeting less than 1% movement. You still go in with a normal amount of contracts. And if the ticker then moves with 20%, and your goal was only 1% ticker movement, then you make 20x on your trade. So yeah, when it comes to those things, like I can show you, for example, DAP. Well, you can see here I have a short setup on it.
Yes, lovely.
Basically, the setup has already played out, but there is
Mhm.
still 20% of the position open to go to the downside. And I will close
Nice.
this one as soon as I see a trend reversal
Yeah.
with Stanxy, for example. So that is basically how you can make enormous trades. With Bitcoin, it's more of a day-to-day thing.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
especially now with a bit of an uptrend again, would be nice. If I zoom out to a 4-hour higher time frame, well, we're clearly stuck in a range at the moment. Let me grab the path tool. Well, this is quite obvious right here. So are we actually going to make a breakout again and come down to the lows? We'll set it up around 16th of October and then maybe go a bit higher? Or do we actually stay in this boring channel till the end of 2025? Bull run talk. I don't care about the bull
cycle,
run.
No. Either way, bull run, bear market, you're still trading. This leads me to another question. As an investor, I have to keep up to date with the news, with the kind of macro factors that impact Bitcoin. Do you keep an eye on that? I know you do. Read the news anyway, but is that to aid your trading, or is that just because you've got an interest? Do you feel doing your research on macro events is helping your trading, or do you get all your information from the charts?
Well, I trade what I see. That's pretty much rule number one. Trade what you see, not what you know. The thing is, there's a news event every day. Every day there's trouble in the world. So once you try to actually go and look out for data that gets released on a certain date, well, then you get a bias by those numbers. And we see it now already for next week with the inflation rate, I believe, is where people are going to say, yeah, but if it closes with more than 1 point, the market will rise. And I go like, yeah, but mate, we're now in an uptrend. Market makers will sell on that date. That's what I would be doing. So I don't really care about news, especially because if you want to trade news, make sure to be in position before the news has already happened.
Yeah,
and then you can trade the news. But
if you're hearing about the news, it's too late.
Yeah, correct.
Unless you're the one making it. So unless you're Elon Musk.
Yeah. Definitely.
And do you find yourself trading Bitcoin predominantly, or have you been trading altcoins? We mentioned Layer Zero recently. What do you find yourself trading? More often day to day.
Well, actually, Bitcoin is one of the tickers that I actually trade it once a day, because I can also trade it on the 1 minute. So if I'm a bit bored, then I can go to the 1 minute and still trade it. Well, I have always my Solana chart ready to go. Then again, with important price targets. So for example, you can see here on the purple arrow, that might be something when price comes down into that range where my interest may trigger again. So those are some of the points where I go like, maybe if we come down, I'll consider a long position. But still, there's a lot of liquidity in that zone. Even below that, there is much more left. So I set the price alarm on this and just forget about it. As soon as the price alarm goes off, my setup is ready to go. And this is actually for a lot of tickers that I have on my screen. Like everything is charted out, and basically on everything I have some sort of an analysis running. So I work pretty much a lot with setting alarms. So as soon as a price hits an important alarm, the alarm goes off. My setup is already planned, so I only have to press enter on the exchange. So I don't need to calculate how many contracts I need to use and stuff like that. Well, here, ZRO, for example. I've been trading this like a madman. The thing is,
Layer Zero, did you mention?
Yes. Well, there is one legend in our crypto saving expert community that actually told was about layer 0, I think a year ago maybe. And at the moment I saw this going live on the exchange, and I was like, I remember this project, and also remember this guy actually talking some good words about it. So I put it on the watch list, and it, like you can see, the trends are actually, this is now on the 4-hour. Trends are so easy to spot. The momentum is super easy to spot. Well, I'm currently in a long position, but I deleted that one because I don't want you guys to liquidate me or stop me out. So there's also a position hidden right here. But then again, if you look how this actually moves, you can just look at retest position. So you take a look at where a final break-off point actually happened, and you will target that as an exit point. So that is basically how all this price action works, because I'm an in-price action trader. So as long as it moves, Spot, as long as it moves.
As long as it moves in the direction.
That is the most important thing, yeah. So,
and with layer 0 and different altcoins, you said you sometimes find a rhythm with them. Does that always last? Do you move on to the next altcoin, or right now will it be you'll be trading layer 0, you find the levels, you feel very very familiar with that? Do you stick with what you know basically, or what you see?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I did for layer 0, I had pretty much a top in mind where where the market will just stop with it. The target is still not hit, so as soon as it does like a 2 or 3x from here, then I probably remove it from my watch list, and then I'm going to search for something else. But I also have seen tickers that I was trading for 3-4 months with somewhat of small market cap. They went 100% up in price. We longed them with the CSE community, taking profits out of it, and a week later they're dead. They die. So you need to be careful with what you pick.
Do you prefer sticking with higher liquidity altcoins and rather than those lower liquidity altcoins, or is there no difference? Do you not discriminate, or do you find it easy, especially with those larger trades, trading with those higher liquidity altcoins?
No, there are some terrible things in this list, mate. ZKF, for example, got released on MEXC, basically one enormous short. But then again, these stickers can move just aggressively. So if I now take a look at a simple retest level, so I check their Discord, I check their Telegram, is the community still there? And then I just basically go, okay, drop off level. So my retest goal will be somewhere around this area. So maybe a move like this. Let's measure it out. Well, then you're talking about an 80% move to the top side. Still, an enormous trade to make, but it has chances. What else do we have?
I've just got to do a shout out. We've got that Martini guy in the chat as well in the video. He says we've got over 1,200 concurrent views. So this stream's absolutely smashing it, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on. Make sure to follow us. And if you're wanting more education and one-to-ones with BlockPro, make sure to join CSE Plus, guys. The link is in the description below. But good to have that Martini guy on. Thanks for showing up. And what have we got on the chart here at the moment, BlockPro?
Well, we're speaking about volatile movers. Well, we got DOP, for example. This one was one that got released in a pre-sale. And
they raised an amazing amount of money, didn't they?
Yeah,
and
correct.
It seems like they haven't quite spent it wisely yet, and prices
I believe
been dropping.
Yeah, I believe it was 162 million what they raised.
Yeah,
and that is insane. So the thing is, this released pretty much in a terrible time of the market. And a lot of people actually sold their pre-sale from the start. So that gave me the opportunity to actually short that market. And now we can see reversal come into play. Yes, I'm still short on it. But these are the tickers that can actually move with like 50, 100% a day. They're super volatile. So, yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. Like I have an enormous list. I would go. I can go over all of them, but
We'll definitely save some more for another stream. But another
sure.
question I have is: a lot of people will be asking. I know we mentioned, we said leverage is the devil earlier, but what kind of leverage do you use? And not financial advice, but what would you recommend for new traders coming in that want to experiment with leverage? Where would you say the sweet spot is? You mentioned earlier, 1% a day is the best strategy, but what leverage are you using to achieve that?
Well, for me personally, I calculate the amount of contracts that I'm allowed to use in my position. That also means when as soon as I want to take a position where I don't have enough contracts, so I don't have enough contracts in my account, then I get forced to use leverage.
Yes,
so that means that sometimes you can, for most of the positions, you don't even need to use leverage. But as soon as you don't have enough money in your account, then you are forced to actually use leverage. So I basically set it, with me it's mostly on the 10x. That leaves me more than enough room to open other positions. Also, the trading fees are not enormous, but for that you need to know how to calculate a position.
Yes.
If you don't have any idea about that, I think that the safety line is pretty much broken above a 3x if you go in with full margin.
I agree. And perhaps we can go into detail on how you do calculate those levels as well. How when you're entering a position, say with leverage, how do you calculate your position entry there and where your liquidation point could be, perhaps?
Yeah. So the most important part is to think of two things. Are you going to place a stop loss on your position, your safety net, or are you going to just say, I don't care about this account, let it liquidate me? Well,
YOLO.
The YOLO trade. So I'm a compound trader, so I compound all my profits. Like I showed it in the Discord, I went with a $10 account all the way up till 12,000 and a little bit, and then got bored with it. But that is all from compounding and also from strict risk management. So the first trade was only 23 cents in profit. And that comes down to actually every time you make that position. So let's say we're going for something that has already happened. That is the most easy example. And also to be sure that no one is taking a trade at this moment. If we plan something in like this, well, then we can go to the settings of your long position planner. There you can already say, so I've got an account size of $1,000. My risk will be 1%. You have your entry, you have your profit level, and you have your stop loss. Well, you can see here now the quantity of the trade. So if I want to take this position with 1% risk, but then again, if we measure this distance, the risk is actually 2.35%. So the stop loss room is not the same as your stop loss in your trading account. And protecting your trading account is step number one, is rule number one. So we can see now, if we want to take this position, we can take it with a quantity of 0.008 parts of Bitcoin. So for that, you type that one in on the exchange, with your combined with your entry price and your profit price and your stop loss price, and then you're going to figure out if you actually need leverage for that position. So, and if you want to have a much further detailed explanation into this, sign up to Crypto Saving Expert and book a coaching call.
And guys, if you are looking to trade as well, we do have links for PHEMEX and Blofin in the description below. I believe with PHEMEX right now, there's no KYC for the next 2 months. So you've got to create your account soon. Then you won't have to apply for KYC. Also with Blofin, no KYC options there. So wherever you're in the world, you will be able to create an account and learn to trade as well, guys. So make sure to check those out. What are we looking at on the chart right here at the moment, BlockPro?
I added Stony to the chart.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, Stony, mate. It's
so for everyone listening who perhaps doesn't know what Stonksy is yet, Stonksy is our own in-house indicator that, it took over a year of that Martini guy and other experts putting it together, back testing it, making sure it works as well. Stonksy is available for CSE Plus members. So if you want to use it, make sure to join CSE Plus. If you want to just trial it out without joining CSE Plus, you can get a monthly option as well. I believe there's a 30% discount currently at the moment. So shoot me a message after this. And if you're looking to just join Stonksy, we can do that as well. But Renit, BlockPro, do you still use Stonksy, even though you have your own methods? How have you found that Stonksy has helped implement some change to your trading?
Well, the thing is, what I have noticed was, especially when it came out, I had a bit of a bias, like, this is not going to work. I don't trade with indicators, so
no,
never, or at least the indicator that you will find on my screen is an FRVP or a moving average, and that's just for trend or direction or fair value gaps. So when it came down to Stonksy, I was like, never. Like all indicators that I've seen are just shit. But with Stonksy, it's actually different because it is a momentum-based indicator. And what I like about it is, as soon as I do some technical analysis on my chart, and I think like, I want to go long, as Stonksy says, go short or don't take a trade. I've learned now, don't take the trade. So it's often right, or at least I think it's 90% of the time it is right. It catches the giant moves, like if we see from here, only based on background color on the 1 hour, for example. If you catch this trade, you're talking about a 4.4 long position on Bitcoin. Do that with 3x and you're in the money. If we look for the short position, well, if you have a bit of a good risk management strategy and take profit strategy, well, then if we measure this move, and let's say you got out on the most terrible time, so let's measure it from a high side, then we're talking about a 6% move, 6% short position. The only thing you need to do is actually watch what the background is doing. And the other thing is you can actually look at the lines on the other side, but still the background is one of the most easiest thing. But let's say you take this short position here on the top, or you got into that short position on the top with the 1 and 3 based on levels, because the best thing is still to combine it with support and resistance, or at least I think that's the best thing. Well, if you have taken something like this and you take 40% out, you leave the rest of the 20% running, I think you make your money back in probably less than 3 months with the thing. It's insane. So I like it. I traded a lot on the 3 minute, to be fair. So here's a lot more price action. But then I don't use the background color, and now I will focus more on the lines on the other side. And that actually means as soon as we go from a break that zero line, so if I take an horizontal line, we have a zero line over here. What I can do is just make it a bit bigger, like this. So everything above the zero line is a bullish momentum. Everything under it is a bearish momentum. So we can actually see that every time the line turns dark green, is that you're talking about a strong bullish momentum. As soon as it turns to light green, is that bullish momentum is slowing down. So that can already indicate as soon as you see something dropping off. For example, your background color is also moving to red in the normal setup case. Take a short position and short it all the way down until you see the red coming into life. Red means strong bearish direction, and so as soon as it turns light red, you might see somewhat of a trend reversal again. So the nicest trades that I've taken so far are based on the lines from going from 0-1 all the way up till +1, and those positions, they're easy to make. Like, you only have to watch what the price is actually doing. Like, the first person that can put this into a bot mate and don't have to pay trading fees on it. I want to speak with you in that case.
They make a lot of money. I'll just show people the site of Stonksy as well. The link is in the description, guys. I can show you where the prices are at the moment. So 145 for the monthly. But guys, the better option, if you really want to put this to use, is getting the Crypto Saving Expert premium subscription. You can have one-to-one calls with myself, one-to-one calls with BlockPro, and one-to-one calls with legal advisors as well, guys. So when you make all this money, you know what to do with it.
100%. 100%.
I think we've got over 3,000 viewers right now. It's been an absolutely amazing stream.
Amazing,
I think
mate.
we will gatekeep some information. We will go live again with BlockPro next week, and we've also got the premium AMA coming up today with the premium Discord members as well, which I'm looking forward to. But BlockPro, thank you so much for coming on today. This is just the start. We will be having more streams together. We will be going into further detail, further analysis, a little bit more about strategy. We really have only scratched the surface today.
Yeah, 100%.
You've been an amazing guest, and I look forward to doing more. We've had some great engagement in the chat as well. We've got Justin there as well. Justin, hope you're doing well. But guys, we will end it there today. BlockPro, I'll leave it with you. If you can give one piece of advice for everyone listening in right now with their trading, what would it be in the short term?
In the short term, use a stop loss, don't get wrecked, and sign up to Crypto Saving Expert.
Brilliant. Thank you, BlockPro.
Guys, have a good weekend.